All right, so our stalwart is here for today, Dr. Mukund Tabib ji. So welcome. Hi, Bhavan.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
So Tabib with me as well.
Yes. So this is one of the most awaited sessions. Whenever Tabib sir shares something in any of the groups of NLP, the first response comes, okay, bhai, please share with us what is happening. Please share how are you doing the magic. And truly, Tabib ji is a magician who is spreading the magic forward by taking the learnings and actually applying it and sharing with us. I would actually go beyond the word of magic and say that he's creating miracles. And today we have him here with us so that he can share with us what exactly he's doing, how he's going about it, what is the secret, what is the difference that is making the difference. So are we all ready? Type in the chat box. Are we ready to welcome Tabib sir? Yes, awesome. Okay, so over to you.
Great. Hi, friends. I have Dr. Tabib with me. And I want to give a quick background before I hand over the charge to him. A little bit about what kind of an awesome learner he is and what kind of background he has so that you can relate what he is doing. So let's start with the name Tabib. The surname Tabib. Okay. Tabib was a degree awarded by King Shahaji to his doctors. And the specialty of those people that time, so King Shahaji means father of King Shivaji, for those who don't know. The specialty of those doctors that time was they could treat soldiers who were fighting a war and who are wounded by poisoned swords. So imagine there's a war going on. Some soldiers are wounded with a sword. The sword is poisoned. Now taking those soldiers back, treating them, getting the poison out, and getting them ready to go and fight again. Not only treating the wound so quick, but going back to fight. So removing all that poison, all of this. This is what those ancestors of Dr. Tabib used to do. And that is where the surname Tabib comes from. Now that came forward. Obviously with changes, with everything, it was that entire science was getting somewhere lost. Meanwhile, Dr. Tabib was an engineer. He was an industrial engineer working in the mechanical industry here, doing wonderful work. On the side, he did, so he is a master's in engineering. On the side, he did his MBA from IIM. And then after doing this for a few years, somewhere he wanted to go back and revive all that magic that his ancestors were doing. So he was doing this research, he was doing this study of how these things were done, how these things were working out. And he studied it to an extent where he figured out a lot of other things as well. Now what he does is, so he is an MBA, he is an engineer, and he is a doctor. Think about the combination. Even one of these three is something that people dream to do in their life. Doing an MBA from IIM, being a master's in engineering, and being a doctor, all of this put together. And all this goes down to one simple quality that he has. The quality of being a forever learner. Always wanting to learn. Trust me, I wouldn't have dreamt, although I am teaching NLP, I love NLP, I like NLP, I wouldn't have dreamt of attending the same training program 20 times. He has attended NLP practitioner program for 23.
20.
Yeah.
Didn't miss a single class.
Didn't miss a single class. Master practitioners 4 times, he's into the 5th one. And he's completed the trainer. And I remember both his children are in the US. And he was traveling to the US. I knew he was traveling because we live very nearby actually. And I had met him. And I thought now he's going to go to the US. So obviously it's going to take some time before he joins back again. He will probably spend time with his children there, etc. To my surprise, he lands there, reaches his home, puts his bag on the side and joins the practitioner training. So that is the zeal of learning. And that is something that we all look forward to from him. Even me, Mehernosh, we really admire the skill of being able to be a wonderful learner. And not only learning for the sake of bhashan suno or picture dekho, but actually doing something about it. Every time he learns something, he does something about it, he implements it. And NLP is not the only thing he has learned. NLP is a very small thing. If I start the list, then unfortunately, 10 o'clock will happen with me telling you what he does. So I don't want that to happen. I want to hand it over to him. Okay. So a lot of things that he is doing, and we are going to hear it from him, how he is implementing NLP, what his thought process behind doing this is. He treats patients who are given up by doctors. So when doctor says, "Inko leke jao, ghar walon ko bula lo," वगैरह वगैरह, that type of patients he has treated, and only by treating morely with language and mind. So we are going to hear it from him. Okay. Thank you so much. And I'll be here to help him technically with just, showing some pictures and all, but the session is his from here on. Thank you, doctor, please.
Good evening, friends. As you all know, what exactly you expect from today's session? Let me know from you. Please speak out so that.
Sir, can
You're
we
sharing
know the
your
stepwise
experience.
process?
Okay. So,
Stepwise process you do with your patient. Likewise, if a patient comes with a problem to you, how you identify which technique the person is requiring. Second thing, how you implement that. Likewise, there's a lot of things we read in your sleight of mouth and others. So
yeah.
we want the example of that also.
Okay, fine. Understood. Thank you. See, to begin with, I would say, we all have heard that horse story from Mehernosh and that horse and shadow story. And we all related that story to our life. Who is that king? How is that king is only anxious to sort out a small thing that only one horse is not accepting his orders, and he is worried about that. And he leaves all other factors aside. And then institutionalized trainers, horse trainers, veterinary doctor, they try all those things and they fail. And finally, a small village boy, who is a frail boy, youngster, young lad, he comes over there with an empty cup and he tries his own new method and finds out that horse is not happy when somebody is sitting on its back and he sees the shadow. And with that idea, he comes out and then rides the horse. And we all have applied this story to our day-to-day life, that how we also sometimes worried about small thing and then keep off chasing with that thing. And finally, some new idea comes when you are in Silva method or some alpha stage and all that. And with that, you can sort out the problems, right? So when I apply this to my own theory over here, when I attend NLP class, I feel as if I am back to school. In the school, when we are in primary school, lower KG, upper KG, we get a lot of spoon feeding, hand holding, and slowly they take us to high school, right? So this is what exactly happens in this NLP class also. I remember that Mehernosh said that you need not worry about grammar and you need not worry about the Rain Martin or Tarkhadkar. And that gives a lot of comfort to many people like me who are far away from grammatical English. And grammatical English is no problem because I am basically from Karnataka. Karnataka is Karnataka. So we are Paidashi Natak karne wale log hai, right? So that is not the problem. And that bhoot of Rain Martin, which was there in high school days, turned to be Bhootnath, a friendly booth which started helping us in form of these NLP techniques. So I would put it this way, one more thing, that Sanskrit phrase is there, Nirkshir viveketu hanso hanso bakaha. Nir means water, kshir means milk. When milk and water is mixed together and put in front of swan, the swan can take out only milk part and it can remove the water part. So this is how we should learn this NLP. Take out water, all the things are required to work on the day-to-day life, not only in classroom. This simple deletion, complex sequence, this, that, I think that is quite many times complicated, at least for me. What we need is how to apply it day-to-day life. So in high school, when we entered, teacher used to teach us, or our mentor teachers, algebra, coordinate geometry, trigonometry, so many things. And when it comes to basics or principle, they teach you theorem. So that way, our mentors, they taught us theorems in the class. And to make it more easy, to make it more understanding, we were taken to breakout rooms. Then it was studied part by part, intonation or eye calibration, voice calibration, and all those things we learned theorem part. But when we come to real life story, what we have to do is not apply theorem, but it comes in the form of rider. And the rider cannot be sorted out because riders are many and they vary from person to person, case to case. So riders we can sort out only if theorem is perfect with us. And we cannot just buy out these riders. Riders are different. So my secret, I would like to now narrate with you is my beliefs and my faith, which I share with the patient. First thing is presupposition. In my style is, whenever a patient comes to me, normally he is given up by other pathy people and he is in very depressed mood, nervous mood and all that. Then I tell him, the thing that you have come to me is, in real life, you are about to get healed. This is what is there. And you are just coming here, getting cured, and the credit comes to me. The Almighty brings to me all the patients who are about to get healed. You take it from me. This is for last 5 decades I am working on this, and this is what I am seeing. So that means even if you don't take my treatment, even if you don't spend any money for this treatment, you are going to get healed. And this gives a lot of assurance to that person. And I tell him, maybe my treatment will make 19 difference, or the transit period will be a smoother one. So take it from me that you are going to get healed just because you have come at the right time of being healed. Okay, this is one. Then second presupposition for me is, the more difficult case is, the better is the result. It's like a Lama ritual. Lama rituals make you biologically young. And that biological age reduction is around 30-35 years. But that depends upon how old you are. If you are 70-75, then you will be of 35 to 40. But suppose if you are already 30, that doesn't mean that you will go back to mother's home. But it will be, you will reach to the age which is the best period of your life. That is known as 25 to 29 age group. So the more difficult case is, the better is the result, is my so far data that I share it to him. So normally the patient is already in bad condition, serious condition, then he immediately comes to the conclusion that he is going to get healed. So this is what I implant in his mind. Third thing is, this NLP treatment will always lighten up your burden. It will may not remove the burden totally, but lighten up your burden. If not, it will give strength to your biceps and your back to have that burden and go ahead. So either it will give strength or it will remove the problem. Have faith in and belief in God, grace of God and Guru's blessing, which will either remove the mountain in front of you, or give you the strength to climb it up, or give you the technique to dig a tunnel in that mountain. Finally, what is most important is come out of the problem, and NLP is finally outcome focused. Am I right in saying this? So let's come to the real facts of our cases now. First case I would like to show is a case which I have narrated once in the class also. This lady is a wife of a wing commander, and she fell down in a bathroom. She had a bad head injury and she went into coma. Video. And she went into coma. The gentleman took her to many famous hospitals in Pune, and the 3 corporate hospitals, he took her there, and the lady didn't come out of the coma stage at all. Finally, the expenses were so much that he took her to Southern Commandment Hospital near Vanavadi, and somebody told him that about me, and he called me and we had a discussion. And at that time, I was in dilemma how to work upon this lady, because I cannot talk to her. She is in hospital, and I cannot go to the hospital and all those things. And that time I was attending 17th practitioner course. And our mentors, they pour in 2 million bytes every second, and what we accept receive is only 7 plus minus 2 bytes. So coincidentally, that time he said a sentence that most of the learning happens in unconscious level. And that could struck me. I said, if that is the case, if I talk to her, she is like in unconscious state, unconscious level, she can listen to me. And then I asked her husband, so whether she has faith in some God or some guru and all that. He said she has got a faith in Baba. Now I made a audio tape in which I whispered tone like, I said, Baba is looking for you. He is taking care of you, and he don't want her to be in that vegetative state. And he is taking her illness on him. And now will you like your Baba to get suffered? And which Baba I was referring, I don't know whether it was Satya Sai Baba or Shirdi Sai Baba or Meher Baba, I don't know. There are so many Babas, but that is chunked up language, Achhe Din Aayenge, that we learned many times from Mehernosh. So this I went on and I talked, I said all these earlier steps also, that you are going to get healed. And there is one more thing. Normally, when a patient comes to me, I take out another case which is very badly in condition and suffering same thing or multiple things. For that example, I have a lady case who is 98-year-old, cancer suffered lady, met with a fracture, and when she was hospitalized, she got infected by COVID. And this lady came out, and I have full videos. I think I have shared this video also in one of the NLP class. And this I showed it to her husband, and then husband also got confirmed and convinced and got confidence that this problem can be sorted out. And all this I talked in that whisper like tone in that audio tape, and we took the permission of doctors. Doctors were also quite happy, so that I am not giving any medicine, but just talking to her in video form or audio form with a mobile speaker on, and they accepted. And then this arrangement was done, and God's grace, Guru's blessing, she gives some indication on her face. And later on, I taught the doctor that is known as a PTR exercise, that is pinch, turn, rotate of your finger toes. And now you can see in video how she has started responding. That started happening within 3-4 days. Later on, you can play the video. Later on, she came out of the hospital on 11th day. And now the latest position is she is on wheelchair. She can watch the TV and slowly speak 1 or 2 words, and she's out of the total danger at all now. There is no more danger. Only thing is, question is of how fast she can get recovered. You can see how she is responding to the sensations now. They are doing that PTR exercise. Maybe some other time I can explain what is this PTR exercise.
ते म्हणजे बोलावंच वाटलं पण राहू द्या.
So in nutshell, this is the result even of a coma patient is there and who started responding. And this case was declared in a medical journal of alternative medicine, and I started getting more and more cancer coma patients. So we would go for another coma patient, a young boy from USA. He was habit of taking drugs and lot of drinks, and he was addicted, and he met with an accident while driving the car, and he was arrested and all that. But when he went into unconscious state, coma like thing, and doctors couldn't operate also, and there was a phone call to me, and then again I asked that mother that is there any devotion he has with any deity or any teacher, any guru. Then she said she has got a lot of faith and confidence and respect for Hanumanji. So same thing again I started applying. I made an audio tape. In that I said Hanumanji is one of the Sapta Chiranjeev. That is, he is alive all the time and he's taking care of you, and he wants you to come out and show a good result to others. And same technique I used, and we played the audio, and he came out of that coma like unconscious state, and doctors were ready to do the operation by removing some of his, and the accident was so dreadful or so dangerous that some part of his skull flew away. They couldn't trace it at all, and they managed to stitch the skull. Now I'm showing some photo. The stitches on one side of his head are 60 plus. You can see the thing now. And the operation took on 26th of September. Now if you
Sangha, it will be a little bit difficult to see. So
difficult to?
tell them it will be a little bit difficult to see.
It is difficult to see now, but you can see some stitches, staples.
For them to काही लोकांना झेपणार नाही बघायला.
Some of the photos are very dreadful. You may not feel like looking at them. Then you can just delete the photo or need not look at them. But if you see, the skull is almost 3/4 of the periphery up to the ear lobe is stapled. And you can see one more photo. You can look at this photo. This is on one side, another side there were 2 stitches, and this all took place on 26th of September, and 28th of October you can see his recovery. And this he started playing golf, billiards also. And the fast recovery is because of NLP. That much I can definitely tell you. Lion's share, I used to work with patients 10 years, almost 30 years, 40 years, even 50 years I started working. That time I was more amateur like. The time which used to take for the patient 1 year, 14 months, 18 months, now it has come down to 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And this credit goes to definitely NLP language and our rapport. And I think that's how I'm really having a lot of respect with Mehernosh and Pavanji, that they keep on teaching me even if I ask again and again, again and again. And that expertise come because we learn it again and again. Because many times we miss, I would like to say I don't absorb everything what they are teaching. Even 17th, 18th time, whenever they say same sentence, that time the sentence gets stuck to me and I start applying it. And this is how 17th lecture, that statement made a drastic change in my way of working with the patients. Now we will go with the another case. There was I had given a lecture around 2 years back in a Kolhapur, and that time I said I can work from a distance on emotions or physical problems and all that. And later on, almost there was a gap of 6 months, and I received a call that, sir, you had been to Kolhapur and you talked about that you can work from a distance on emotions, strained thinking and all those things. Is that true? I said, are you asking for, just for asking this, are you calling me in the morning at 9 o'clock? And I'm not a politician to say something and later on deny. Whatever I can do, I am saying that thing. But what is the real need? What you want, why you want to know it? He said, my son had gone from Ichalkaranji to Varna for his exam. And second time he's appearing that exam because he failed in that exam. And up to 9:15 he was okay. At 9:15 something went wrong and he had a lot of fearful stage and he started perspiring. And finally somehow he managed to gather his courage and he called his father that, Daddy, I don't know what has happened, but I have forgotten everything and I don't remember anything now. So I'm definitely going to get failed in the exam. My sister is going to get married. There is an expenses over there. My younger brother has to study. Our home loan is there. And this extra exam I'm going to fail. So that expenses will be there. So just to cut down the expense of my own, I'm going to suicide in 10 minutes time. After narrating this much, the father started crying and he said, sir, my son is very, what do you say? He's having a lot of own pride and he's feeling ashamed that he's going to fail again. And so I don't know what he can do in 10 minutes. Maybe he will jump from 6th floor or maybe he'll jump from in front of rail or something he will do and he will suicide. Tell me please what you can do now. I said, okay, sir, please don't cry. Stop crying. You ask your son to call me. And once he calls me, the ball is in my court and you need not worry. So to cut the long story short, he called me, that boy, and he said, uncle, this is what is happening. I have forgotten everything and all that. I said, I know everything. Now hardly 20 minutes time is there for your exam. You just drink couple of glass of water, sit comfortably in the shadow and go for the exam and you will remember everything. And now you don't ask me any question. I'll start working for you and you will remember everything. That is my assurance. And within 2 minutes time, he called me again and sir, he asked me, there is one problem. I said, you are not supposed to ask me question. I'm working on you. He said, sir, I agree, but I don't remember my roll number. Where can I go and sit? I said, it's a very simple thing. If you don't remember your roll number, you stand in the queue in the last. There will be one bench empty. You go and sit on that bench. And on that bench, roll number will be written. So that is your roll number. So it's a simple thing. He just nodded and said, suppose if the roll number is not written on the bench, then what I will do? I said, then also it is simple. Ask somebody who is sitting in front of you. He says 98. Ask the back fellow. He says 100. Then yours is 99. The front fellow says 80. The back fellow says 82. Yours is 81. And be assured that roll number will be definitely written on your bench. Now, don't ask any more question. Sit comfortably and let me work. Again, within 2-3 minutes, he called me And he said, sir, how we are going to work? Let me just write how I remember. I said, I cannot go on explaining, but one small thing I can tell you, there is a hardcore memory, soft core memory, the way computer has, it is there in our head also. See, you will remember who was your first standard teacher. How was your first day in the school? But you will not remember what you have eaten 10 days back as in the breakfast. Similarly, it is there in your head. Don't worry. Suppose you are written a 40-line essay. My school, my favorite hero, my favorite leader, or my pet, and all that. And if you do some small mistake in the last line, will you erase the whole essay? Will you scratch it? Or will you erase the last line? He said, I will erase the last line if here I have done some mistake. So similarly, whatever you have studied in last 1.5 years, everything is there. Only 9:15 to 9:30, something has gone wrong in your memory. So I will put that control or delete only for those 15 minutes. And you will remember all whatever you have studied for last 1.5 years. So don't worry now, go and study for 5 minutes or be comfortable, go and appear for the exam. So he was comfortable, and in flow of that, I told him some more things now, which I'm not narrating. I could tell him some part of anchoring also, that put your vibhuti, whatever you have brought, and you put it to your forehead, and your deity will be blessing you. And with all that, what happened? Now we will read in his feedback. I will also read along with you. Shall I read it for you? I am a student of chemical engineering, second year. My problem was I was afraid about the exams. This was due to loss of confidence. My problem was so critical that I feel to end my life. Then my father referred me to Dr. Uncle. They gave me some technique and lessons of positive thinking, that is rapport and all that, and anchoring. Those things taught to me made a drastic change in my way of thinking. This change results into improvement of my approach to my exams, and I completed my exam well. Now I am so confident about my exams, my results, that I will get good marks in this exam. Finally, he got 83% marks in that exam, and today he has his own industry and very successful personality. So this is how the NLP can make a drastic change in somebody's life. Am I with you? Are we on same page now? Are you
Yes,
getting my ideas how I work with the patients? How I give them confidence, right?
You don't work with patients.
Pardon?
You don't work with patients. You only work with people who think they are patients.
Okay, fine, good. Nice, thank
The
you.
step one is you remove that thought from their mind that they are patients at all.
Yeah, thank you, boss. This is a new version for me now. That's a good thing. Now let's come to a very fine case of stammering and stuttering, right? Once somebody said that Tony Robbins works on stammering case. So I have a similar case, which is already in audio form, which I have already sent to many groups. We will play that and we will analyze that. Oh,
12 years back, this is the testimonial. At present, good morning. Last session,
Just 1 minute, guys. I'm sharing this out. Somebody please confirm if you can hear this.
Good morning. Last session in slit of mouths topic, someone quoted for Tony Robbins' presentation for stuttering case. I would like to tell about the same similar thing which I treated on a person who was stammering and stuttering. The thing started in this fashion. A doctor couple came to me with their son who was around 28-year-old, and the doctor is MD physician and mother is MBBS plus pathology specialist. Son is software engineer. Son passed out when he was around 23-year-old and in first class, but because of stammering he couldn't get the job. And whenever he used to go for interview, the first question is normally, what's your good name? And he used to say, my man name in this fashion, and the whole thing used to go fat. And he couldn't do well in interview. All his friends, they got the job. Software engineers, they get the job. And within 3 months, everybody got the job. They started their doing job nicely. After 6 months, they got confirmed, they got rise, and this fellow was without job. After another 1 year, they again got the rise, promotion, they started getting better salary. This gentleman was out of job. After 2-3 years, people started changing the jobs. They got higher ranking job. And again, this gentleman couldn't get any job. So finally, he got very much depressed and frustrated. And finally, he said to his daddy that, Daddy, I'm going to run away from my house and I will do something else. I don't know what exactly I'm going to do. But now you don't look forward for me. I'm a liability to you. I'm never an asset to you. You make me learn engineering degree holder, but I'm of no use. And this is how he got frustrated. Parents being doctor, they took him to psychologist, psychiatrist, but everything was in vain. Finally, they came to my place. I told him, look, this is not a problem at all. This is an engineering problem. Next. This is an engineering problem. Think that you have got a bullock cart and one bull is strong, stout, athletic, another bull is weak. And if you load the bullock cart with lot of load and whip the bulls, what will happen? The strong bull start running fast and the weaker bull cannot cope up. And within a few meters of distance, the weaker bull will fall down, and then the stronger bull has to pull the bullock cart which is imbalanced, the load of bullock cart fully loaded, plus this bull, and in toto what happens? Even this bullock cart doesn't go long way. So now, if the owner of the bullock cart, if he doesn't whip the bulls and allow them to walk with the speed of the weaker bull, don't you think that the cart will go to the destination? Maybe slowly, but it will reach. Exactly same thing is happening with you. Your thinking is fast, but your expression, tongue, lips and all that cannot cope up with that thought. So what you have to do is, talk in a very slow rhythmic fashion. Think of our ex-Prime Minister Vajpayee Sahab, how he used to speak. For example, हमारे देश में बहुत, and then he can add any words. In 2 words, you can sing a song. This is the way you have to speak. For example, I put the rhythm with my hand saying, now you say, my name is Suresh, in this fashion. Don't hurry, slowly start talking. And this is how I taught him how to work, plus anchoring, that goes without saying, and he started speaking well. After a few days, I speed up the rhythm, and slowly he started coming to the normal. One day he said, now tomorrow I'll go for interview and you please bless me. I said, tomorrow you go to the interview and I'm sure you'll fail in the exam, in this interview. He said, come on sir, if you say like this, then how will I pass? I said, the first question will be, what you were doing for last 5 years? And even though you have got a very good vocabulary, you will fail. Then in that case, what I should do? He asked. I said, look, you have got a very nice personality, 6 foot tall, fair guy with convent accent and nice manners. You teach people how to face an interview. You have got lot of experience in facing the interviews, right? So teach them how to wear the clothes, how to do the shake hand, how to sit, how to look into the eyes, and nobody will question you what you are doing for last 5 years. So he started doing that. And one day he said, sir, I'm getting my candidates getting selected for the job. I said, fine. Now you come out of your bungalow room where you are teaching this. Take another hall or room on highway, on main road, and start teaching with your own board regarding this coaching and all that. So he started doing that also. Then I said, and one day he came with a very second-hand damaged scooter instead of car. And I said, come on, what happened? Every day you bring car and today you are bringing a scooter? He said with full chest up, sir, this is my scooter. Earlier I was driving my father's car. Now I have brought this scooter. I said, fantastic, very good. Now you keep it up. And then he started slowly picking up, taking 5-6 batches. One day I asked him, see how many students are there in each batch and what is the hall size? He said hall size is around 20 by 20 and batches are either 1, 2 or 5 people or 3, 4 people, anything it ranges. I said that looks quite pathetic. Instead of that you make 4 compartments over there. Give 3 compartments to other people who can teach something like this, and 1 compartment you take. So for 1 hour, instead of getting 1 hour's remuneration, you charge 50% for others. You will get 2.5 times. And he liked that idea. So he made the arrangement in that fashion and started getting 2.5 times. So one day he came with a brand new scooter and showed me again, sir, this is my new scooter. Then I told him one day, look, up to what time you teach in the evening? He said up to 8 o'clock. And after 8 o'clock what you do? I relax. I said in 8 o'clock in the night, America there is 8 a.m. in the morning. Why don't you start teaching to them how to email the thing, how to make this cut paste theory and some software things, attending Zoom meeting, such thing to senior people over there, or even teach Ram Raksha and Bhimarupi to the children over there. They must be needing certain things in this fashion. He started doing that. and one day he brought the car. This is how he started improving. Latest, he wrote one book on Java and programming part. He called me for the opening of that book, and this is how he improved. So in nutshell, I would like to say that NLP can help you to a very great extent, and you can do your own experiment the way you want. I will just present his expression about this all treatment. In that he has done a lot of appreciation for me that you can ignore. Because of overwhelming emotion he has done that. Just listen to it. I think it will be useful.
Just before put. In this last audio, he has talked about his own experience. In that, still he stammers a little bit, but he could camouflage that with his accent and with his confidence. You can just go through and listen to it. What I would like to say is, this is a pure case of pacing and leading. Throughout his around 6-8 months treatment, every time he used to come to me and I used to lead him to a certain extent, reach to him, take him further. And this is how it helped our NLP technique to him. Now listen to it.
My confidence level has improved because of Sir. I have converted my weakness into strengths and started an academy of my own. It is a coaching academy and it educates people in programming, which by God's grace is doing very well. I have realized my true worth now thanks to Sir. I had initially lost my self-confidence about a year back when I joined Sir. I had a heavy speech problem. Now, by God's grace and by Sir's grace, the problem is fully cured. I am a senior professor of IT at an institute, NTech Solutions. I own my own business, Expert Websoft, which coaches corporates in Java. I am a lecturer of core Java at Mindscripts with excellent payment. All thanks to Sir, who is a father figure to me and my guru and my God. I can do anything to give Sir happiness. Sir has also made me punctual and disciplined. Sir is my God.
I think with this, you all can understand that how much respect and love we get when we treat two people, and the NLP way does it so fast that they themselves get astonished that how they are improving. Has treated many cases like this, even muscular dystrophy, brain atrophy, which are totally given up by doctors and given to us as a challenge also. I would narrate a small story that it will take long time because it is another audio form which will take around 10-15 minutes. I will make it short. That the girl came to me was a challenge given by a neurosurgeon from a very well-known hospital. That girl was 21 and a half, suffering from muscular dystrophy. Those who don't know disease name, I would like to explain muscular dystrophy. Dystrophy means shrinking. If you take an apple and keep it over here for 2 days, it will shrink. Another 4 days, it will get decayed. Another 4 days, it starts stinking and all that. So this is how it happens to the muscle. The muscle starts shrinking right from their birth. And on one side, there is a life force till we are teenager or 20, 21. So life force improves their body and the disease pulls them back. And these children, by and large, they die at 21, 22. And this is 1 in 10,000 case. And the girl was suffering from brain atrophy also. So at the same time, her brain was also shrinking. It was exactly a case 1 in lakh, and she was already 21 and a half when she was asked to come to me by that neurosurgeon. And then when she came, she was in a wheelchair, having 2 wooden frames on her body. like the slate we used to use when we were in primary school. One frame is over here and one frame is backside. If you remove front one, then she used to fall down like this. And if you remove the back, she will fall down backside like a thin sheet plate supported by two frames. And all over, she used to wear diapers for urine and for toilet and for even ladies problem. And the muscle were so bad that even if she coughs, she couldn't spit out the bulgum what she used to get. Even she cannot cry properly because for crying you need a lot of muscles. Even she couldn't laugh properly because for laughing you need muscles. This was the case. And we started with NLP technique, and at that time it was not a NLP known technique the way today we are tabularized or made scientific structure of it. And I used it. This is a 10-year-old case, and she started improving in such a fashion that within 2 months she could go to Parvati Hill, and I took snaps over there. And one day I called that doctor and told him that, doctor, your patient is climbing the Parvati. He said, come on, sir, you are, first thing he said, sir, you are lying. He said, sir, not this food. हे केलं नाही का मी हे केलंच नाही so he said, even if she would have climbed two stairs, I would say you have done a great job. But you are talking about she has climbed the, we can put those photos. You are talking that she has climbed the Parvati Hill, and I don't digest this. I said, whether you digest or don't digest, these are photos. Later on we can put these photos in the group. And then I said, you need not believe this because I'm an engineer and I can do this cut paste and all those things. And instead of that, you call her tomorrow in the hospital. And on which floor you sit? He said, I sit on 4th floor. I said, go to 7th floor and call her and see that she can climb each and every, this photo is good. She will climb all the staircases. And he did that. And from next day, he started sending a lot of patients to me. I said, don't do that also, because I take a lot of time for each patient. It's not that there are 2 cabins, junior doctor will check weight, height, ECG, BPA, and the main doctor comes later on. And before the patient talks to him, he prescribes, and he goes to the next room again. This is not the way we treat over here. I take a lot of time, and I need to pass on my energy to the patient. And the NLP technique and all that, it takes long time. And I tell you, when his father was sick and he felt that now no allopathy treatment can be done, he told to his father, Daddy, now you can go to my friend who is working on this path, and this is the only solution. Now I see to you. And God's grace, his father came to me and he got cured also. So this is what NLP is. You can believe that NLP can do miracles beyond your own thinking, beyond your own imagination also. In the mind's eye, you can see whatever you think will happen. My all, what I would say, final words to you is, my slogan is, light up that corner where no one else dare. This is my slogan, and to this slogan, NLP has helped a lot. In the end, I would say one thing. Many people say that we are yet to complete the course, we are yet to learn the practitioner course again, we want to do it again, we are not understood, or we want to do it again, and then we will start using, or my friends don't believe me, my family members don't accept, how can I talk to my senior, all those things. I would say real learning of NLP happens outside the classroom. And in day-to-day life, you need not take out special time. Last practitioner course, foundation course, I found many people, they say that we don't have time and we'll have to take special time. No, you don't require extra time to practice your NLP. It is day-to-day life. You are talking to the people, you are acting with the people, you are reacting to the people's action. So all these things you can start using your NLP and change your behavior and help to the people. And the real NLP application is definitely outside the class, and you need not wait till the end of the class, because every day we live and we are reacting and we are conversing with the people. And then do it with the NLP studied language. And most important, your language need not be grammatical. That Rain and Martin and Tadkar, those ghosts will not come and haunt you. It can be dramatical, practical, and focused towards final outcome. So this is my suggestion. We can go on and go on. There are n number of cases. There are n number of cancer cases, fourth stage B case. Recently, I came across a person who just wanted to live. Doctor said that you will live only for 2 months. He requested me for 6 months life. I said, why you want only 6 months? We can go ahead and go on. He said, no, sir. Doctor told me 2 months is the last limit. And I said, then why you want only 6 months? He said, because I want to take care of my workers who are working with me. He's an industrialist. He said 50% of workers are intelligent, they can get another job. 30% of workers are medium level, they can still pull on their life. But 20% workers are totally dependent upon me. So I want to take care of them, at least for their ration and their children's education. And to that arrangement, I need 6 months. I said, okay, we will do that. I went to his home. Normally, I don't go to any patient's house, but this was a very special case because he wanted to live for somebody else, not self. And you understand now, when the rapport starts, when that accent starts, when that intonation starts, and then the loop story starts, that is there in the triple. You will get that technique in triple T and that slit up mouth in master's class, and within a half an hour's time, 1 hour's time, his face started glittering, and at the end of 4-hour session, he said, come on, forget about 6 months and all that. From tomorrow, I'm thinking of expanding the business. And this all happened when I came back from America. It was 25th of August, I think. 28th, we started his treatment. Today, 20th August, September, October, almost 2.5 months, and he's improving. And God's grace, I think he will get a good long life. And I all give credit to our mentors who take so much effort to teach us, and hand holding. Right now is also he's doing hand holding, because I'm this all is bit a gray area for me to cut, paste, and put it on laptop and all that. I only manage with mobile. So this is how our mentors are teaching us, taking care of us. Now it is up to us to make use of it. So this is my few words with you, and I end my session over here. Thank you for listening me very carefully and patiently. Thank you. Question time.
So if you have any queries, questions for him, first of all, thank you. Thank you, Tabibji, for sharing these experiences. Let me tell you, many of you don't even get to know all these things. Some of you get to know through the groups that you are, where Tabib sir is also there. I get to experience this in real time because I live just 2 kilometers away from him, and we do visit each other very often. And me and Mehernosh, we only initiate. I mean, we have not done anything different with him that we have not done with you. जो आपको सिखाया वो इनको सिखाया, जहां आपको सिखाया वहीं पर इनको सिखाया है, जैसे आपको सिखाया वैसे इनको सिखाया। लेकिन आपने कैसे सिखाया, इन्होंने कैसे सिखाया, दैट इज वेयर द डिफरेंस इज। एंड व्हेन आई से सिखाया, हाउ डिड ही लर्न, हाउ डिड ही लर्न, द डिफरेंस इज नॉट इन हाउ डिड यू लर्न बट also in how did you implement, what did you do about the learning. One thing very recently I started saying in all my trainings, what is the difference between entertainment and learning? You come to the NLP class, you sit for 3 hours, you get overwhelmed with what is taught, you like the idea, acha aisa hota hai, this is how I can do rapport, this is happen, when you do this, this happens, you can lead, you can pace, wow, wow, wow. When everything is wow, 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 up to 3 hours, it is entertainment. Only when you do something about it, it is learning. And this is an epitome of learning. This is a learning to a very, very different, I won't even say different level, but a different plane, different orbit, I don't know. Okay. So, of course, that doesn't mean all of you now go out and start healing people. That doesn't mean all of you go out and start solving medical issues. He is a doctor, he is using it in his domain. Some of you may be a counselor, use it in that domain. You may just be a manager in a bank. Use NLP to help your staff, to help your customers, to help people around you. Not only to sell, but to help. Okay. You may be just be a homemaker. Use NLP to better your home, to better people around you, to better the society around you. There are so many ways you can implement this. The fundamentals remain the same. Rapport is the same. Anchoring is the same. How you use it and how you use your presence of mind to identify which tool to use where. There is no standard formula for that.
It's a rider.
It's a rider. There's no, like you said, these are all theorems, but it is a rider that is going to do the job. So there is no standard formula to which tool to use where at that. And how would you know which tool to use where? Only by the more you use it, the more good you get at it. Fluency will come with practice. And this is a classic example of fluency, which has come with practice. So if you have any queries, questions, please feel free to ask him. He's around for some time.
So what is the role of whispering the things? You mentioned it in 2 and 3 examples. You did it with coma patient and you did with that boy. That what you recorded in that audio tape was in whispering mode. So is there anything special about that?
Yeah, when you whisper, people hear it with more concentration.
राज की बात है.
हाँ, राज की बात है. Correct.
Okay.
And I tell you, you can.
Actually, it's one more reason. That reason is something that you really need to understand very well. See how you are listening now? See how attentive you have become?
I just want to enter into the mobile so that I can listen properly.
I tell you one more thing. You can even work with the plants and animals. I will show you that case also. I was in America and there was a call from my friend whose pet kitten was chased by a dog, and the kitten got so much afraid of that it went on climbing the stairs and finally reached to the 10th floor and 10th floor terrace, and there is nothing beyond that. So it was about to jump from that 10th floor and get escape from that chasing dog. And then she called me, and you can see the kitten on that floor, and which is about to fall also maybe. Then I said, you put on the speaker mode of your mobile, and I will talk to the kitten. And kitten could understand my feelings, language, and it could gather the courage and waited over there. And then by that time, I could buy some time, and other people could reach to the floor, and they could push out that dog and took the kitten to the safe zone. This is how it works. The boy could reach to the 10th floor and
Sir, can you share the sentences you talked to the kitten?
that's what I'm saying. It's a rider, madam. I think every time you ask me the same thing and I answer it the same question. It's a rider. It's
I just didn't understand. Rider means what?
rider means
What worked with that kitten is not going to work with something else.
No, just that is that I understand that it will depend on case to case. But my curiosity is that what he talked about to the kitten.
you.
He's not here to solve your curiosity. He's here to help you understand how BPM is NLP. Let's not make this an entertainment session. Let's make this a learning session.
It is yes learning. If I have to talk to a animal,
Let me tell you, madam, let me tell you. I got a call from one NLP master person that my husband goes to the market and I tell him to buy chili, coriander, then ashgard and some other pumpkin, 10 things. And if he forgets 2 things out of that, will you please make an audio tape for him? I said, how can I do such things? This is what you have to work with your own techniques. You have learned so many things. Everybody has got all resources. Think of it, make your own tape. If you want, you can send it to me, then we can sit together. But ready-made thing will not work. You take it from me. That's why I put 2 audios to ready-made for you. You can take something from that. How that chemical engineering boy, I took him out of that problem. How that stammering boy, I kept on giving him pacing and did him instructions. These 2 things, I think it can help you. Yeah.
See, in fact, I will share one more thing that he hasn't talked too much about yet. And now if you ask him, what did you talk to this tree? It's not going to make too much sense, but still, let me show you something that he has done. And this is right in his own garden. This is after you came back from.
No, that was during the first session itself. You were there at that time.
Yes. Just one moment.
And I showed you that.
Correct.
Papaya tree.
I have personally seen this. So this was the tree. You see how it is right now. Now this is not only NLP. This is much more than that. This is emotions, healing, waves, and a lot more. Look at this. That's the tree is improving. This was the first stage, I guess.
This is the last stage.
This is the last stage.
See, there are so many things. Hugging and kissing on forehead is also a medicine. You can hug to the trees. You can talk to the trees. I have seen trees aura getting changed. One of my friend who is a very senior ophthalmologist surgeon, he was doing an experiment on trees and he could have that a machine which can correlate with trees aura. And during the experiment, one of his assistant, he was doing puja of that tree and the lantern fell on that tree and some of the leaves got burnt and that tree got afraid of and its aura ECG went into a very negative fashion. Later on, when that person who made that lantern fall on the tree, even if he was in the vicinity of 1 kilometer, the tree used to show those signs of fear. I have got those videos also. I can show it to you. So this is what can happen. Rapport is not only for saying verbally or mechanically. That rapport should be from within. How you look at them, how is your tone, how is your intonation, all those things will help. Rapport has to be from within. I think our mentors will also agree. It's not only mechanically, he takes pen, you take pen. No, not that. It has to be heart to heart.
Okay, let's see if there are more raised hands and I'll take them one by one. Archana?
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for this. I just have a sharing, sir, in this plans thing. like when my mom and dad were out of town for 5 months, I used to feel like those plants were missing my mom. So like even I was watering them, they were like very low minded, like very low. I mean, I couldn't see that glow in the plants. Then one day, what I did is like I showed my mom those plants through video call, that your plants are safe, mom. My mom was missing plants, and those plants were missing my mom.
Yeah.
So, with Tabib says, now he said, right, we can hug a plant. Yes, we can speak a lot to those plants. So there I just could connect it to that, sir.
Yeah,
So
it
I just
happened.
wanted to share that.
Yeah, truth is confirmed again. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this wonderful sharing, sir. And
Thank you.
thank you, Pawan sir, and thank you, Mehernosh sir. This was like an eye opener to me. Thank you so much for this wonderful session.
Thank you.
Sure. And by the way, if you all have any success stories you would like to highlight on this session, so more and more people learn how things are being implemented. Jacqueline.
Yeah, hello, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your inspiring stories. I have a question. So, you spoke about the guy who was stammering, okay, that story, and you said you used pacing and leading.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I just want to know how you use the pacing and leading in his case. Like when we say pacing and leading in NLP.
Step by step, I said, no? Step by step, I said how he has to talk, how he has to monitor his speed, that bullet cart, then how you should take the classes. You should not
Yeah,
go.
yeah, that was, you were actually leading him.
Pacing and leading. Every time he used to come across some problem, I used to give solution.
So basically starting with the idea of engineering, because the guy was an engineer, starting with with the whole idea that this is an engineering problem, not a medical problem. And then this idea of two bullocks. So that was pacing. And from then on, every moment there was leading and leading and leading, bring him one step forward, again pace, again lead one step forward, again lead one step forward. Starting as in the engineering language rather than the medical language is where meeting with Guru was.
Okay, fine. Okay, got it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Great.
Thank you.
Sir, I have a question. May I?
Yes, Vidya.
Habib sir, thank you so much. I've spoken to you personally also.
I know.
Many times. Thank you, sir. Thank you for all the wonderful things you are doing. You are getting a lot of good karma. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Sir, I want to share one story when you were talking about exam fear.
Yeah.
That was exactly how I was in my 10th standard. And when you said 83%, I got 84.5% in my 10th standard.
Fantastic.
I just could not study. I used to cry all the time. My mother is here. She knows how I behave. I even met a psychiatrist at that time. I was told to meet a psychiatrist. And I went and met a general physician at that time, and she scared me about this whole psychiatrist thing. But then after that, in about 2 years, I never had exam fear. Thanks to something, I mean, now we know about NLP. At that time, we had these books from Raj Bapna and Anil Bapna. I remember, I still have those books, 150 rupees. We got this newspaper ad and I bought it from Udaipur or Jaipur. I don't remember. And most of the things now, whatever Pawan sir, I when you were taking us through those reading things and all, I could relate to what I studied at that time. And these books had almost that. And when I went through that, I also did this visualization. I've shared this in one of the classes. Visualization I did. This was one of the techniques. And I remember I did this visualization exercise and 10 times I went on stage exactly the way I visualized. So whatever we learned in NLP, I have experienced it without knowing that it was NLP or whatever. I totally was rid of an exam fear.
This is precisely why we don't say NLP works. We say what works is NLP.
Yeah, it is
It has already worked for you, just that you learned it later.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So that was one of the motivators for me to join this course, because I have personal experience with this, with all this, and I still have. Okay, now, sir, Tabib sir, I just want to ask you: have you used submodalities in your practice with?
Then I don't go with those submodalities and those all terminologies. I tell you, terminologies I just keep aside, and I go with the flow. And most important for me is that rapport, anchoring, meta model, Milton model techniques. These things works fantastically. Later on, sometimes I add that slit up mouth and meta model 3. And these 6-7 steps and secondary gain, that this much is enough for me to handle anything. I don't go on for this definition or for that nomenclature and all those things. Dissociate, associate, all those things I keep aside and go with the whatever is needed over that in that form of language.
Wonderful, sir. Sir, regarding that one person who climbed the stairs, 4th floor, and you told the doctor, you asked her to come to the whichever floor you want, and she will show. So what exactly there, how did it work? Because she had a biological problem of deterioration of the muscle.
Words can change your physiology.
Sorry, sir, what was that?
Words can change your emotions, chemical changes in the body, your strength, everything can change. And that in turn can change your physiology. There are so many cases. You know that Wilma Aldous girl who was having polio. Doctor said she won't walk also. And what happened when her mother gave her a lot of confidence? She got 4 times gold medal in Olympic in running event. I have seen a person, I think Pavana also has met him, having a person, CFO of a multinational company having Parkinson. He couldn't write anything. He couldn't walk even 100 meters. We started working on him for last 2 years almost. And finally he started, he was sitting, he couldn't sit even as a pillion driver, pillion seat on his scooter when wife was driving. He used to come by rickshaw. He started sitting behind his wife on the scooter. One day he started driving the scooter. Finally, he started driving the car also. And then one day he asked me, how you do all these things? I said, my main battery is my guru. He is around 330 kilometers from here, near Bijapur. He said, shall we go over there? I said, okay. I will, me and his brother-in-law, we both could drive Maruti. We are used to Maruti. And I said, you take your car from your home to my home, which is only 10 kilometers. From there, I will drive 150 kilometers and your brother-in-law will drive 150 kilometers. And the family member also agreed because I was with them. They had a lot of confidence in me. So he came to me by driving 10 kilometers. And when he reached my home, he said, now I will drive. I told him, he said, sir, shall I take the car from here to Magarpatta outside the town and then you take it? I said, okay, you do it that much driving, no problem. He took it out of the town, Magarpatta. Then he said, sir, shall I drive some more? Shall I drive some more? He went to Indapur, then Mohol, then Solapur, then all those Hudgi and all that. He reached finally to the Nimbal station. 330 kilometers in one go. And the gentleman was suffering from cancer, TB, herpes, Parkinson altogether. And while coming back also, he did same thing. I said, now your family member will blame me. He said, no, sir, they won't blame you. And when his doctor came to know, he wanted to visit me. What exactly you have done? See, this is the word of power. It can change anything. Take out from your mind that it will not do biological. Whatever problem, if you are facing, use NLP. Don't look it to somebody else. Anything can work. Only limitation is our own mind.
Thank you, sir.
Have I answered you?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Pawan, sir.
Sure. Go back to the first lecture of NLP, the communication model of the mind. An external event comes through your filters, changes the internal representation, changes your emotional state, hence your physiological state, and hence your behavior. You have to identify which filter you want to change, so that data is taken in a certain way, and then everything else changes. Most, although I'm not a doctor and not at all even close to call myself a doctor, he does this a lot. I'm nowhere close there. But one thing that I know for sure, most ailments are more mental than physical. Physical is just the representation of that ailment. Physical is how you see it. See, for example, if I show you a PowerPoint presentation, that PowerPoint is my way of showing it. What I'm showing you is what I'm thinking in my mind. Similarly, physical is just the way the disease is expressing. Most of things are mental, and language has the ability to change that state once you use it very well.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Sir, I just want to add one more thing.
With people near and around you. Minor things here and there, and slowly you will get better at it.
Yes, sir. Just one more thing, sir. I wanted regarding talking to the plants. I love plants a lot. I do this. I don't know. I didn't know these are techniques and all. I have seen plants do respond when we keep talking. I had this, I was very passionate about growing plants from my college days. And when the plants were withering, the leaves were, just talking to them would do, I don't know, I would notice some difference as you continue to talk and spend time with
I'll tell you one case in Pune. That person's name is Naik. He planted 5 coconut trees, and then after say 30 feet, he planted another 5. Like that, in a row, he planted 100 coconut trees. And to one row, he started playing Indian music, to another English music, to another he hanged the prisms so that the whip jar light comes to them. And such experiment he did, and he found the fruits are different, the taste is different, the yield is different, so many things. So plants do respond to such things. They understand your touch, they understand everything. So
yes,
you can do.
Let me tell you, I also love plants a lot, as long as somebody else is maintaining them.
It's a vibration they understand rather than the language.
Yeah.
Yes. With plants, it is more of the emotion.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Okay. Purvi, what happened?
Yes, thank you so much, sir. And I totally understand that it is all about connection building, and it should be a heart-to-heart connection while dealing with any of the client as well as any of the patient or any person whatsoever, maybe plant, animal. I just wanted to give, like, if you can give an example of a particular situation, like how you actually dealt and what kind of a sentence and a language usage you have made, so that we can take just a reference and accordingly we can apply it in our practical life. I'm not saying we will copy you the way you said, we will just copy your sentences, but at least we will get some idea of how you are processing language in your mind, and accordingly we can also model you.
Okay. In that particular batch, you were not there, but I have narrated one case where a lady had a cancer which was very, very aggressive, and within a 2 months time it grew from 5 millimeter small mole like thing to 70 millimeter orange like tumor in her breast. And because of that, when she went to the doctor said that full breastectomy has to be done. And then when she heard this thing, her BP and sugar shoot up like anything. 120, 180 BP and sugar also 240 like that. Then doctor said, we cannot operate you with this type of high BP and high sugar. So we will have to wait. And then they waited for 15 days. She went again with those medicines and all that. And they found that BP and sugar had still heated up. And During that period, tumor also grew much more because it was a very aggressive. So doctor gave few more medicines which were quite strong in the dosage and all that, and they waited for 1 week, but the results were not comfortable at all. Then the doctor talked to me, this is the case, whether you can do something. That lady came to me, and then we did all slit up mouth. Now you know slit up mouth, right? Because for example, everybody has got bacteria or those cancerous cells in the body. But as long as your immune capacity is good, they keep mum. Like Talibanis were sitting mum when the American troops were there in Afghanistan. Once the American troops went back, Taliban got up and they started doing all mess up work, right? So like that, everybody has got those thieves or cancerous cells in the body. As long as your immune capacity is good, they won't harm you. They won't harm your body. So I started working now with my NLP technique. Your immune capacity will go up. And all those few more slit up mouth, like cancer is not the end of the world. Allopathy is not end of the world. I told you, that 98-year-old lady case, seeing is believing. This is presupposition. If she can get healed, you can get healed also. So with that, within the first day itself, when I checked her BP with my pulse idea, I found that she's coming to the normal. I said, wait for 2-3 days more, and then you go to the hospital. She went to the hospital and doctor found that she's in normal level. And then doctor decided to operate her on Friday. She went there on Wednesday. They thought to operate her on Thursday. Wait for 1 more day and operate her on Friday. Then at that time, I said, now look, yours will be the first case to come out of the hospital of similar breastectomy operation. And that is what happened. She got discharged first, all of that bunch of 10-15 other people. And then now I said, now yours will be the first case to use all your movements. So she started putting earrings and all that within a 15-20 days time, and the doctor got astonished also. So this is slit up mouth. And you can use same techniques what you have been taught. Just change it the way the person is. And I think this whole case I have put it in detail in one of the, I think Vidya knows this case, right? Vidya madam, you have raised this question on this topic also, I remember. You have read this case in the course.
I remember asking you for more details on the case studies.
If you remember this case, just put it in back to this
on the group.
On the group.
So people can relate.
Let me check, sir.
Okay. Maybe I will also find out, but my phone got corrupted and I lost a lot of data. Just check whether you have that case with
Yes,
you.
Last question, and then we'll call it a day.
Thank you so much, Tabibji. It's a blessing to hear all of this, and I feel thanks to the NLP family, which is created by Mehernosh and Pawan, that we have access to so much useful information to empower people's life. And I want to share my interaction with Tabibji and how it has helped. I had actually visited him for my right knee problem where I was not able to sit. I had deep pain. I actually went to heal myself, and Tabibji empowered me, saying, you can do it yourself since you're learning NLP. I tried Swish technique in one of the Wednesday sessions, I remember, when Mehernosh was taking a guided session on Swish. I tried it, it started working. I continued doing it. And today I can sit with Padmasan on the floor. Wow. All thanks to the encouragement that, Tabibji, that he realized that, rather than me doing it, I want her to apply it and do it. In fact, Tabibji, I spoke to you when I was on the Yatra. I had actually visited last year Golden Temple and prayed to God that I should come and sit on the floor and listen to the Shabad Kirtan. This time I was actually sitting in Golden Temple in Sukhasan position for 20 minutes hearing Shabad and Kirtan. So I want to thank you for, giving me that encouragement to try it. And something which I spoke to you, Tabibji, on my mom's case also. When you gave me the hint, I actually started doing, which again goes back to what Mehernosh and Pawan are saying. The learning is at an unconscious level, and you told me to, record something. So I have started being conscious of the self-talk that is happening in my mind. And I do plan to do some of the recording for myself and listen to Tabibji to get further healing on some of the other smaller things that I'm dealing with. So I feel that self-talk, listening to that self-talk, or playing that guided audio on myself when I'm in deep sleep, I am very sure it will heal some of the other things that I'm dealing with. So thank you so much for guiding me and giving me the path to try it for myself and believing it. And I can echo and relate to everything that you have been saying, because I've experienced it firsthand myself.
Thank you. This is a whole NLP family, and big bosses are with us. So we don't need anything more. They are with us. We will go ahead.
Yes. And I always remember your statement. If I can do it, you can do it. Melody khao khud jaan jao. I always remember that statement, because that is what you told me when I visited you in Pune. And I'm very happy that you didn't treat me and you encouraged me to try it on my own. Otherwise, this wouldn't have happened. So thank you so much.
Yes. Melody khao.
Super. Great. So we're going to have more such sessions now, wherein on some of the Wednesday sessions, we will continue to do the practice and revision. Some Wednesdays, we will have more people sharing how they are implementing. And let's see how it goes. Dean of the college, over to you.
Thank you so much, Tabibji, for sharing the insights. We usually call him the Bhishma Pitama of NLP, having attended all the sessions back to back, whether it's practitioner, master practitioner, TDT. So this one has been in demand since almost a few months now.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, instead of brainstorming which topic to take up this Wednesday, let's bring the most awaited, most in-demand session. And thank you, Tabibji, for accepting my request. And it's the purpose of the session entirely was, and I'm sure the outcome got achieved, that it is to inspire you to know that how you can apply your learnings. And even when we say modeling successful behavior, you model the way it is working. What you observe could be in a different context, but you pick and choose the belief behind it. The belief that Tabibji has that, yeah, it can work. The base is rapport. The name of the tool does not matter. What matters is how to put it to action. The presence in the moment, where you decide in the moment, you observe, you calibrate, basically. See, without using the NLP jargons, Tabibji has explained the actual ground level work that he's doing. If you want to connect it to NLP jargon, in fact, all the topics that we've covered in the course were demonstrated live by Tabibji. They were all there. ऐसा नहीं कि आपने submodality use किया या anchoring use किया या meta model use किया, Milton use किया. Everything he has used. Sleight of mouth, all that is there from practitioner से लेके master practitioner से, even what we have done in TTT, in train the trainer, everything has been used. So what do you gather about his way of thinking? What do you gather about the attitude that you need to have towards learning, and more importantly, towards the application of what you're learning? So I think it was a great session, very, very inspiring, and a lot of takeaways for all of us, including Pawan and myself also. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And wonderful. We are already having all the aha moments coming, as our tradition is in the chat box. Thank you for sharing, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Consider it as
Thank
work.
you.
Thank you, Tabibji. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mandesh.
Thank you everyone for
Yeah.
participating and making it more interactive and sharing your learnings and applications also. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
A magical evening of NLP sharing today. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.